I got a call from the hospital saying someone had used my identity, and they were about to perform surgery in my name. At first, I thought it was a scam. I get those calls all the time. Your car warranty is expiring, the IRS is coming for you, you've won a cruise. I was about to hang up when the woman said my full name, birth date, and the hospital where I was born. She said this was serious, that someone had checked into their facility using my information and was scheduled for emergency surgery in less than 6 hours. I asked her what kind of surgery. Kidney transplant. She said the patient had been admitted 3 days ago and all his paperwork matched my records perfectly. Insurance, social security number, medical history, everything. The only reason they caught it was because my actual insurance company flagged the claim when they saw I'd supposedly checked into a hospital 200 miles away from where I lived. I told my boss I had a family emergency and drove straight there. The entire way, my mind was racing. Identity theft was one thing, but using my information for surgery? That was insane. What if something went wrong? What if they billed me? What if this person died under my name? When I arrived, hospital security was waiting for me. They escorted me upstairs to the surgical floor where administrators, doctors, and even a police officer were gathered outside a patient room. One of the doctors asked me to verify my identity, so I showed them my license, answered their questions, showed them the scar on my wrist from when I broke it in 8th grade. Then they asked if I wanted to see him, the man who'd been pretending to be me. I said yes. They brought me to a window overlooking the pre-op area, and when I looked through the glass, I felt my entire world stop. The man lying in that hospital bed looked exactly like me. Not similar, not close, identical. Same face, same dark hair, same build, even the same small scar above his left eyebrow from when I fell off my bike at 7 years old. The doctors were panicking now, talking about how this was impossible, how their system must have glitched, how they'd never seen anything like this before. But I couldn't hear them. I just stared at this stranger who had my face. That's when he opened his eyes and turned his head toward the window. He saw me standing there, and instead of looking shocked or scared, he just smiled. Weak, tired, but genuine, like he'd been expecting this. I demanded to speak with him. The officer tried to stop me, said this was an active investigation, but I didn't care. I walked into that room and stood at the foot of his bed. He spoke first. So you finally found me. I asked him who the hell he was. He told me his name was David. Then he said, we're twins. Mom took you, dad took me. They split us up when we were 3. I told him that was impossible. My mom never mentioned a twin. He laughed bitterly and said, of course she didn't. The divorce was ugly. They each wanted one kid, not both. Dad moved us to Arizona, changed our last names, told me you didn't want anything to do with me. He said he'd found out the truth when he was 16, discovered old court documents in Dad's filing cabinet, birth certificates, custody papers, photos of us together as babies. He'd been tracking me ever since. Social media, public records, anything he could find. He learned where I worked, where I lived, what kind of car I drove. When he was diagnosed with kidney disease 2 years ago, he searched for donor matches but couldn't find one. That's when he realized something. If we were identical twins, I'd be a perfect genetic match. But he knew I'd never agree to donate an organ to a stranger who'd been stalking me. So he did what he thought he had to do. He used my identity, my insurance, hoping to get the surgery covered, and maybe, just maybe, if something went wrong, they'd contact me as next of kin and we'd finally meet. He apologized, said he knew it was illegal, that he could go to prison. Then he said, I just wanted to meet my brother before I died. The hospital canceled the surgery and called the police. Fraud, identity theft. He was discharged with charges pending and no transplant. That night, he showed up at my door with paperwork in his hand, crying. He said he was sorry. Then he collapsed on my porch. I donated my kidney 3 weeks later.